involved. A lot of people died because of it. They got murdered. When the police retreated, neighborhoods got much more dangerous, of course. But the other thing we learned was just how deeply hypocritical the people in charge are. There's really no depth to their hypocrisy. We've got a news story tonight that tells you how deep it goes. This story begins on November 1st, when a Portland City Commissioner by the name of Joanne Hardesty used the Lyft app to get a ride. Now, in case you're not familiar with Joanne Hardesty, she's the member of the Portland political class who made defunding the police her main mission. She's called for $18 million in cuts to the Portland Police Department. She says most calls for help aren't real. So with that in mind, here is a 911 call that Joanne Hardesty made during her Lyft ride just last week.
911, what's your emergency?
Well, I got a Lyft driver that decided he would just drop me off at a filling station and he wants me to get out, and I'm not getting out of the car in the dark at a filling station. Not happening. All because I asked him to put the window up, but I'm not leaving. He says I have to get out of his car, or he's calling the police, so I decided to call for help.
Well, she sounds like a lot of fun. So what's the emergency? 911, what's your emergency? Well, Joanne Hardesty's emergency was the driver didn't want to roll the car's windows up, presumably because COVID. The police arrived and concluded that no crime had been committed. It turns out, even in Portland, it's not a criminal offense to have your windows open, though maybe they'll make it one. So in response to all of this, Joanne Hardesty claims that she, quote, proactively called the police because as a woman of color, she was worried that officers would put her in danger if someone called them first. In other words, we have to call the police to protect us from the police until we defund the police. There you go. The whole intentional fantasies. An authoritarian fantasizes about controlling you. And coronavirus is given the perfect pretext to do that. Now they force their way into your home. You're not going to believe this story. Rick Leventhal has it for us. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Tucker, for anyone in New York or California, it'll be a holiday season like no other. Two governors with similar mandates arguing the only way to slow the spread of COVID-19 is to start shutting down again. Starting this Friday night, a 10 p.m. curfew will be in effect for every bar, restaurant, gym, and liquor store in the state of New York. Restaurants can still serve food curbside for pickup or delivery, but no alcohol to go. And indoor and outdoor gatherings on your own property will be limited to no more than 10 people. Governor Andrew Cuomo says the parties are the problem, blaming them for the spike in cases, and says if the new restrictions don't slow the spread, he may shut down gyms and indoor dining altogether. And he's demanding New York City's mayor deploy the NYPD to enforce the new rules.
There are only two fundamental truths in this situation. It's individual discipline, and it's government enforcement.
And over here on the left coast, Governor Gavin Newsom has issued similar new guidelines ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. No more than 3 households can gather together at a time. Gatherings must be outside and last 2 hours or less. Attendees can use restrooms as long as they're frequently sanitized, and singing, chanting, and shouting are strongly discouraged. Tucker, I swear I did not make these up.
I was literally just thinking that exact same thing. Rick Leventhal has gone rogue. He's writing fake news again.
No, I didn't. I didn't do it. I'm
fail spectacularly. And by the way, I do promise you, I will be reminding people every single day of how you failed to do your jobs, failed the American people, if your dream comes true. Biden will become your nightmare, but unfortunately, it will be the country's also. And I'm going to add, I honestly hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong for the sake of this great republic. And I hope, by the way, for the people of this great republic. They're the people that truly make America great. CNN, MSDNC, CBS, ABC, NBC, New York Times, Washington Post, all you big tech giants that went all in anti-Trump for 4 years, pro-Biden, well, pro-Hayden Biden. If I'm right, the American people will never trust anyone Not that they do much now in the media mob or big tech or the Democratic Party ever again, because you will be exposed as institutionally corrupt, abusively biased, and never to be trusted. And notice, no Republicans are having hissy fits on TV. None of them saying, we're going to move, we're going to leave, or this is a white lash, and all the craziness we heard in the past. No, people aren't acting that way. They're saying count every legal vote. And you've kind of proved it to us anyway over the last 5 years. You will have broken it, and you will now own it. But first, let's count all legal votes, like Joe said he wanted. I have a message.
All right, you guys, to support us here, go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. For those of you with ticket citations, mortgages, foreclosures, also those of you with child support cases, and those of you having to see an agent doing business as parole officer, as well as those of you having warrants, and those of you with student loans, as well as those of you in the churches doing businesses, jails for non-violent offenses. You can email us for the GSA bonds to set off the matter in the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claimed you owed, as well as all the other things you hear us talk about here. I would like to pray. Heavenly Father God, we pray. Thank you for putting a hedge of protection. Put a hedge of protection around all that is good globally, and even the ones that are not so good, because they're obviously losing it right now. All right, so I want to put a hedge of protection around the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, and all the good people globally helping all of us. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. And all the people waking up to the reality of what's really going on. Huge thank you to you. All right, you guys. Attention Office of the International Criminal World Court, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines. Jay Clayton doing business as Securities and Exchange Commissioner. Also Joseph Otting doing business as a head for the Comptroller of Currency. Also the Federal Trade Commission, Clearinghouse Department heads, and the Antitrust Department heads, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigations heads, as well as the Fraud Department, Interpol, and Louis DeJoy doing business as Postmaster General, and the Universal Postal Union heads. I come to you in good faith, here and for the record, in one's proper person, I stand my ground. As a living flesh and blood, sentient being, Suri Juris, Suri Heiress, heir to the world's vast estate, Moabite, Queen, Empress, American Indian, Alodia Title Moorish American National, Reubenite Tribe Chief, Noble Honorable Ange L. Nitty Alpha L, Asexual Seed Plant, Rubus Red Rose, Angel in Latin, AA 222-141-449-59344, holding the highest diplomatic office. I command and order you now to go and investigate quickly as Google, YouTube, and all these agents that we wrote to earlier tonight and before that prior, right? We know that one guy is stepping down all of a sudden in the 3 days we've been writing to him. And so we know they have pretty much acquiesced to everything. Going on, investigate, is it true that the artificial intelligence that we're told to do with wearing the masks, causing the people to have more toxins in their system, is in fact helping the social distancing and these artificial intelligence nanobots that they're putting in the foods and all the crap? Is that what? Do they need the people to get more toxins in order to spot them individually on the artificial intelligence? Is that why the masks are so important? If so, go and round up all masks, burn them this night, find the agents involved in all that stuff, right? The agents we wrote to, we've given them some time to write back to us. See to it now that within that time frame, all the stuff we required in that public affidavit is implemented globally for all the people who have been harmed and subject to all that's stated there, are compensated for all the stuff that they've had to go through in this scamdemic. As we know, yesterday you shared with us that UNICEF and some international corrupt organizations here doing a program called X Marks the Spot. Go and round up the superintendents for that, doing business as the Board of Education heads, for again using the word safety to confuse the minds of the masses and to control our children. Go now and round up those international corporations for interfering and trespassing on our lands globally as heirs, and for interfering with our children in any capacity with this bleach and mask and crap social distancing that goes against our culture, because we're not raised with that. It goes against our culture, as we are a close-knit family, a tribe people. We are always engaging with one another because that's how we live and that's how we're grown and that's how we're raised, right? And so go and see to it all those agents are rounded up and charged for genocide and treason. If said Google, YouTube, and all of them are involved in that, go and deal with them now for us all that's been subjected to all that harm in that, right? Thank you in advance for your speedy response to this matter. By Noble Honorable Ange L. Enidi Alfred L. Rubinite Tribe Chief, American Indian, Allotted Title Moorish American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved. I stand by the Book of Ruth, by my deceased organ harvested husband and myself, Jackson Dolo Kona Rakaito, Nela Kakaina Hoto Klolota Kananaita Ki, Nena Nakalata Kanano Tokono Tokono Itakanai Takano O, Kina Haita Kanano Tokolo Takanareti, Kina Haitaka, Nono Kotokolo Tokananaitaka. Yes, you guys, as faith without works is dead. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Matthew 7:12. It's the law. Put God first, and all good things will come after. And yes, harm no man and let no man harm you. Like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. Remember to subscribe to the new channel, Noble L II. Thank you to each and every one of you for your support to us here on this channel. We do ask for donations for these videos and these affidavits and stuff to continue our research. And go now quickly, international authorities, find out why the beach in Negril, the local part of the beach, is black. All the water is black, and yeah, it's murky and disgusting. Find out if they've thrown something in that water there, and why the beach on adjacent to the very same water over by the tourist area is perfectly clean. Did they do something to the water in the local areas is the question I'm asking. Find that out now and deal with that situation for us here. All right. Thank you. And once completed, just send me a telepathic message. And I want to thank the people globally. As you can see, we're able to do the back roads. Yesterday, I want to thank the 13 workers that showed up. I want to thank the taxi driver that showed up as chef to cook for everybody that was there, laying out the mall. We got a ton of mall. They were able to spread that out and fix the roof, and we're working on some other stuff today. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you for your support to us here. Once we're completed, the other part had gotten rained out a bit, so we're going to see if we can do a videotape of it and put it up on the channel. Like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day, and thank you to each and every one of you that support us here.